How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Hello, everybody. Welcome along to another Chips Tea Party. So this evening, obviously, as you can see from the whole promo for this and the thumbnail, I wanted to talk about the Bermuda Triangle because, and the main reason is actually the Bermuda Triangle used to be such a thing. You know, like growing up in the 80s, it was in every paranormal book that was going. There was always talk of the Bermuda Triangle. And then over the years, nothing. So I thought, do you know what? I think somebody mentioned actually on the stream a little while back, they said, nobody talks about the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Why is that? So let's talk about it. So just before we get going, hello to everybody in the chat. So hello, thank you for joining me. And for those that mention it, yes, my stomach is absolutely fine now. Thank you very much. It wasn't last Monday, on Monday. Pretty rotten, I've got to say. That whole night, pretty rank. So welcome along. I'm just going to say a quick shout out to those who came in. So hello to Gillian Daniels and Weird Fox and Gingy, hello, and Catherine Lawrence. Who else we've got? Blast Rights, Roger Bowen, good evening. Diane Chambers and Tim, hello. And Pomp, hello to you. And I'm with this Kaz Scarlett, hello. I've already said hello to Roger, I think. I'm literally whizzing through down the chat. I don't have like a special thing that Beardo has, which literally lists everybody. Hello to Mike O. And who else have I got? I'm going, Anna, hello to you. Who else? Bumps into things of the night. Hello. And Spange, hello to you. Stacey Smart, Sam Hain. I know I'm missing a whole bunch of people. Shelley, hello to you. Ghost Wiener, good evening. And Pomp, I'll probably say hello to Pomp. And Donna, hello. And Mike's Mysteries, good evening. And, oh, hang on a minute. Oh, my laptop. I'll tell you what, I think my laptop has been, oh no, Beardo's in. Hey, Beardo, how are we doing? What treats has Justin got for tonight? Tuna pasta? No, definitely nothing fishy. I know we talk about the ocean, nothing fishy. Good evening, Bean, hello to you. Mr. Badger's MBD, hello. I do look surprisingly well. It must be the good lighting or something. How are we doing, Mrs. Geek? Good evening. Let's think. I'm going along, going low. I'm missing people. Mamaps. I'll probably say that wrong. Fantastic. Good evening. Hey, Sarah. And Giuseppe. Sarah Bowman. So Egbert Swizzlestick. Always a good name. Hello to you. Right. And Val. Hello. 10 quid for a fish cake. Bugger off, Beardo. I'm not even going there tonight. Not even going there. I lost followers. I lost subscribers based on that stream on Monday. People were just like so utterly repulsed by me. They were like, nah, can't follow this guy. Absolute knobhead. Anyway, right. So so I genuinely think people don't bother talking about the Bermuda Triangle stuff. And I think part of that is because, it's been explained. It's all been explained. So what I'm going to do tonight is, as ever, I'll just a very, very quick rundown. I'm not going to go into a huge amount, but a very quick rundown of where it is, the kinds of things, some incidents that have occurred in the Bermuda Triangle, some theories, some mental theories about the Bermuda Triangle, and obviously the rational side. And then I want your take. I want you to tell me, what do you reckon? What do you reckon on the Bermuda Triangle? Is it all explainable, or is there just a little bit of room for something just a little bit weird? So if you're not already aware, this is where it is. So this is the area we're talking about. So southeast coast of the United States also covers area of land around, obviously, Bermuda. and a number of islands called the Antilles Islands, or the Greater Antilles Islands, I think they're called. So that includes Cuba, Hispaniola, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico. You can see kind of all that whole area there. Now, since I suppose in the last 100 or so years, it has had over 50 disappearances of planes and ships within this area for a number of reasons. I'll go through a couple of the most famous ones. I suppose the one that most people know about is this, which is Flight 19. Uh, I'm pretty sure Flight 19, were these the guys that turned up in Close Encounters of the Third Kind at the end? You know, where they're kind of walking out the UFO. Sure, that was meant to be the pilots of Flight 19. Anyway, so the guys of Flight 19, and I think also they all 5 planes and crew disappeared, never to be seen again. And also I think there was a rescue plane sent out to look for them. That also disappeared as well. There is this one called the USS Cyclops. Again, it disappeared. This is out of, like, say, 50 or so various different planes and things and another famous one was this ship called the SS Cotopaxi. Again, disappeared without trace for a long time. Its wreck was eventually found. But so what I'll do is I'll start with, what should we start with? Flight 19, because that's the most famous one. Okay. So in terms of Flight 19, I'll just kind of very briefly kind of talk about this one. So I found a website which talks about it. So it says the most notorious disappearances in the Triangle, the fate of Flight 19 and PBM Mariner has left even the greatest minds reaching for answers. When Flight 19, a group of 5 Avenger torpedo bombers, took off from Fort Lauderdale on the 5th of December 1945, they had expected their 3-hour bombing journey to be just as uneventful as the runs that they had done countless times before. Shortly after dropping off their payload of replica bombs, the patrol began to run into trouble. Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, an experienced pilot, believed that his compass had started to malfunction and that Flight 19 had been flying in the wrong direction. This whole idea, this is one of the explanations for things disappearing and never to be seen again, is actually one of the theories is about magnetic forces, magnetism. And basically there was like a series of blunders and issues, and I think they got confused. I think they was heading off in the wrong direction. For whatever reason, they decided to turn the flight back around. They thought they were convinced they were at a particular point when it seems that they weren't. Anyway, so all crew, all 5 pilots and the rescue team. So there was the airman of the Mariner who went out to look for them. I think there was 13 men disappeared and the 5 pilots. So neither the rescue plane or the wreckages of the 5 planes of Flight 19 were ever found again. So that's Flight 19. The other, I suppose, most famous one, other than Flight 19, is this one, the USS Cyclops. Again, I'll just give you a little bit of a background on this one. So it says on 4th of March 1918, USS Cyclops set sail destined for Baltimore, Maryland. With no scheduled stops along her route, she was due in port with a full load of manganese ore on the 13th of March. However, the ship never arrived at her destination. The last transmission received from the ship reported that weather fair all well, and the lack of any wreckage or SOS message led many to speculate that what might have caused the ship and her crew to vanish somewhere in the 9-day windows. The USS Cyclops and her crew of 305 remains the largest recorded loss of life in US naval history. So pretty, we're not talking like a few. I mean, it is very kind of weird, mysterious. The other one I'll talk about, there are so many of these ones. This is the SS Cotopaxi. Again, also disappeared. Let's see if I've got anything about the Cotopaxi. I think this one disappeared in 1925. It sent a distress signal, but then it disappeared, never to be seen again. But then the wreck of this ship was found in 1985. They did not know that it was the Cotopaxi, but it turned but people basically confirmed that in, I think, 2020. So they had actually found this wreckage. So you've got like I said, you've got a stream of different cases of planes, of ships, and things like that. So it is very weird, on the face of it, and this has led to loads of mad theories. Some are sensible, I suppose, and some are mental. So we'll go through the more sensible ones. So the first one that comes up is this one. Now, obviously, this is just obviously a shot of inside a plane. No, there's no quiz. This is the inside of a plane because basically a lot of pilots and those on ships have reported weird magnetic issues, fluctuations, issues with instrumentation, the compass going all over the place, people not knowing what the hell is going on. Apparently, the Bermuda Triangle area is one of only 2 places on Earth where a compass will point to true north instead of magnetic north. Now, the other thing that they're saying is actually if any navigator, any captain, any pilot would know about magnetic north and true north and the difference between the two, I think it's called declination. And they take account for that when they are charting their course, they're mapping their route. So it shouldn't have an effect on these disappearances, but it is a theory because of these weird kind of fluctuations and compasses behaving bizarrely. That's one reason. One theory is this one, that there are occasionally, because of where it is maybe prone to some rogue waves. Now, certain rogue waves may reach up to 100 feet in height and obviously could explain some of the disappearances of ships. However, it does not explain why airplanes have disappeared as well. So again, out of all these theories, you might have obviously keep whatever your thoughts are. We'll keep it a bit later on. We can go through it and tell me what you think is the most likely in terms of explanation. One other explanation is water spouts, tornadoes. Essentially over the ocean, creating huge water spouts. Wind speeds are up to 125 miles an hour, something like that. Again, this is a really active area. The particular area we're talking about is massively active for severe weather, including tornadoes. So is it possible that extreme weather is the culprit for many of these instances of planes and ships sinking or disappearing without trace? So I think out of everything, I think that's one of the most likely options. I mean, I don't want to kind of sway people, but there we go. We'll go into the 3 crazy ones because there's always nutty paranormal ones. Number 1, wormholes. Of course there's wormholes. So some kind of weird portal opens up and planes and ships disappear through the wormhole, never to be seen again, which is why lots of the pieces of wreckage or airplanes are never seen. Now, you're going to think absolute horseshit, obviously, but I'll just bring in, there was a guy called Bruce, I think it's Jernan. Anyway, he was a pilot, or is a pilot, and he wrote a book. So if Beardo wants to buy another book, he wrote a book called Beyond the Bermuda Triangle, in which this pilot says, and I quote, "I didn't believe in time travel or teleportation until it happened to me." And he described how a fog surrounded his plane, and without any explanation, he said his plane leapt ahead 100 miles with no explanation. He has called it, he deemed it an electronic fog. And so make of that what you will. Oh, bless you, Urban Angel. Thank you so much. I've just seen the donation. Thank you so for the super chat. It's like the Bermuda Triangle was spoken about in the Illuminati handbook. Lost it in my last move. There's a reason they give for it, as it's something to do with dimensions there, and an island has a purpose there. Oh, how cool is that? Hey, thank you for your super chat, Urban Angel. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's I suppose obviously it all depends on whether you believe this pilot in terms of he described this fog appearing in his plane, um, jumped ahead by 100 miles. Interesting. The one of the maddest ones, there was a guy called Charles Berlitz. I think this is probably in the I'm guessing in the 80s. If you remember, there was a point, I think 70s and 80s, where there was like a huge interest in this subject. It was massive. Anyway, he wrote a book called The Bermuda Triangle, unsurprisingly, and he said that it was possibly, that's right, the lost city of Atlantis. which all right, okay, right. So his explanation was he believed that technology that was developed by the Atlanteans, included various crystal energies. And as the lost city of Atlantis sunk beneath the waves, these crystal energies were still active on the seafloor, and that is what is causing the malfunctions and the technical issues that planes and ships have had in that region. Amazing. Amazing. The only issue with this is the lost city of Atlantis doesn't exist. But hey, let's not get in the way of a good theory. And obviously, your favorite and mine, bing, UFOs. Of course, the aliens. The aliens are beaming them up and taking them off to wherever. So it's always a wormhole or an alien. And that's what's occurring. They're beaming up the ships, or they're beaming up the planes, and that's why these planes or ships are never seen again. See, I mean, obviously, I mean, me personally, I think that's absolute horseshit. And maybe not as horseshit as the Lost City of Atlantis, but hey, why not? Why not? I love a good alien. So yeah, there's always got to be, you blame the aliens. So whether that's aliens, Lost City of Atlantis, wormholes, water spouts, rogue waves, magnetic issues, magnetic fields, all causing issues. Here's some of the theories, but obviously, if you speak to the US Coast Guard or anything like that, their opinions they're pretty clear. All right. They put it down to two factors. They say human error and or in conjunction with extreme weather. And out of those two things, that is the most, they believe that is the most likely cause of these disappearances. They also, the US Coast Guard and the US Navy also say that the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle are, in terms of the numbers of ships and the numbers of planes that disappear, it is no different to any other area around the world. No great difference. If there is a difference in terms of if it has particularly more disappearances than any other places, it is purely because of how busy that transportation area is. These huge, massive, long kind of what they call shipping channels, because it's so busy, because of that so area, because it's so packed full of ships and planes. That is why. So they think it is down to those two factors, purely human error or environmental issues, environmental factors. So extreme weather, yes. Some of these could be a reason. I mean, one of them is the whole for those that don't obviously realize that you've got this area we talk about is the, I would say, Gulf of Mexico. But it's not, is it? It's Gulf of America now. Thanks, Trump. So yeah, Gulf of Mexico, where it's nice and warm. mixing with the cold waters of the Atlantic causes these massive, huge, extreme weather conditions. And so, so that's what we think. So, what do you guys reckon? Is it? What do you think is the most likely? Are you leaning towards the more kind of the weirder, or are you? I'm going to start going. Actually, let's put the overlay chat on so I can start to read your comments. What is it that is causing all these disappearances? So that's like going on here. Coarse moldy bread. Yeah. Let's have a. Like I say, I can just go up the chat slightly because I know some people have already started talking about it whilst I was chuntering on. Let's have a look. Beardo says, I'm pretty sure I watched a documentary on the tides there, and the riptides are so violent they can't locate wreckage because they're ultimately destroyed by a tide. Okay, that's cool. I kind of get that. Yeah, absolutely. I do get that. If they put it, that's Egbert Swizzle Stick, what's that? If they put it down to malfunctions, how do they know? No one's report it if they vanished. I've been to Atlanta. Oh, for God's sake, Tim. Not even going to go there, Tim. Let's have a look. Craig Sewell, I've long believed the massive magnetic core of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs and split Pangaea into the continents we know today is down there messing with the weather patterns. The whole thing about magnetic fields, it is strange that there's all these reports where experienced pilots who know, is it too simplistic for people to say, oh well, these pilots didn't know the difference between true north and magnetic north? I think they probably did because they're trained in it. But does it satisfactorily explain why pilots have reported their compasses going all doolally? Not really. And we should use the word doolally more in conversation. Okay, so Spigfest, they said when they tried to make the USS Eldridge disappear with new technology, it went from Philadelphia to Norfolk, Virginia. Then back in 10 minutes, it had a weird green electric fog around it. Yeah, is that the Philadelphia experiment? I'm sure that's the Philadelphia experiment. That's cool though. I love the Philadelphia experiment. If you read about the Philadelphia, if I can't say it, if you read about the Philadelphia experiment, it's mental what's meant to have happened. What's that? Mike O saying hurricanes and atmospheric anomalies, magnetic pulling weather combined. What's that? Pulling weather combined with was always my thought. Kraken, environmental possibly. Yeah, I agree, Dawn. What has it been? Come on. So be all of the above. I still think it has to do with magnetic fields. Bad weather, says Christine. Definitely weather related and magnetic, maybe. I know the waves are nuts out there. So the experiment does have documentation on men melting into the boat. Some disappeared, some caught fire and burnt for over 18 hours. Could not put the fire out. Yeah, the thing which I find really mad, is the bit where people were seemingly embedded in the metal of the boat. I mean, that's nuts. I do need a drink. Thank you, Elaine. Look, water. Let's have a look. Roger, it's EMF causing interference, weird weather, undersea currents, and methane vents. Yeah, somebody's saying gas vents, methane vents. The only reason I didn't include it is because some scientists have basically dismissed that one out of hand now. I think it was a theory about methane vents, but other scientists have come along and said no, it's just not plausible. Let's have a look. I think a lot of things happening there is because of the asteroid residue beneath the sea. That's cool. Yeah, Beardo saying, look at the freak weather Florida gets. Explained. Easy peasy. Doolally. You got to use the word doolally. So look, Mike Larry. Hi, guys. Missed quite a bit. My opinion about the Bermuda Triangle is that it was debunked by statistics of significance and insignificance. Can't remember where I saw it. Yeah, I suppose the whole thing that I just mentioned earlier was because of how busy it is, actually, that number of disappearances aren't that unusual. It's just that people have kind of latched onto it. And I suppose with all things as well, people have not only latched onto it, but gone with it and stories have become embellished over time. So yeah. Let's have a look. Hang on, I'm just going to go through. So I'm a bit slow on the chat. Diane Brooks, thank you for becoming a member or being a member for what's that, 5 months. Thank you so much. Playing Beardo or David Copperfield. Yeah, why not? Let's have a look. Sam Hain. Bermuda Triangle is an area I've always been interested in. I go with the Coast Guard theory as the numbers aren't any different because of 1 or 2 stories of the unexplained. Absolutely. Oh, bless your heart, Kaza. Oh my God, Kaza, thank you so, so much for the 20 memberships. I mean, you were so, so generous on Monday when I was eating shit. Just eating really horrible things and donating. But thank you so, so much. Bless your heart. Thank you. Yeah, so like I said, if you've got a membership, if you've had a membership because of Kaza, please make sure you thank her if you're in the chat. What's that? So Spookfest is saying strong electromagnetic charged area can cause very odd things. I've hooked up high power stations. It's very strange. The whole area can be vibrating in a way. It is. I mean, certain things like that are very, very weird, I've got to say. Can we go to the Bermuda Triangle and do an experiment? Yeah, I'd love to do that. Can you imagine? Just having it. I don't know. Just send me to Bermuda or Jamaica for a while. Yeah, because I'll just set off in a little boat off the island of Jamaica with some rum. Yeah, and we'll see if I disappear. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Have a look in the short videos for other theories. There's loads of Bermuda shorts. Bermuda shorts. Jesus. Do you remember them? Everyone was great. Do you remember that period in the 90s where everyone was like wearing Bermuda shorts? I remember that. Or was it the 80s? One of the two. So is the large amounts of magnetite there to do with the meteor, says Elaine. There you go. But other people will be able to explain that one. I don't know. Let's have a look. Alison says, sorry, I'm late. Going to watch from the start. That's fine. Go back in time. Do it. It'll just give you a bit of an overview, I suppose. I'm not going on to massive detail, but gives you, because I don't want to bore people, but give you a bit of an overview about the kind of weird stuff that's meant to have occurred. It is. I do find it genuinely really sad that obviously we're kind of making light of it and oh, isn't it funny and all these weird and wacky theories. But I suppose at the root of it all, people have died, and as much as it's fun to think about aliens and stuff, really behind all of these kind of weird embellished stories, you've got guys, and they are mainly men, disappearing, men and women, I suppose, disappearing and not being seen by their loved ones again. And it's just genuine. I mean, with all disappearances, it's genuinely really, really sad. So yeah, I suppose we've got to keep that in mind, that we are actually talking about real people. And like the USS Cyclops, 306 people died. So it's massive. Unsolved Mysteries had me convinced that the Bermuda Triangle was instant death. So did I, actually. Yeah, I absolutely right. I was a child in the 80s, unlike Justin, who was in his early 20s back then. Yeah, all right, Beardo. There's not that much difference between us, only a little bit. So I will tell you another story about one of the other, one of the ships, I think it was. Again, bit weird, which I'll go through a couple of other examples in a second. Let's have a look. Saw a documentary years ago where a submersible tried to investigate the seafloor and found massive sinkholes. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that one. So Spookfest. Maybe there's a black pyramid under the Bermuda Triangle. Heard that's what area in Antarctica is a no-go zone. Also all blurred out in Google Maps. Same with North Pole. Yeah, I've seen a few of them, which is a bit weird. How they've got certain areas kind of pixelated and blanked out. I don't understand what the hell is going on there. I thought it'd be like a national security thing rather than an alien thing. Worked in a national grid site and electricity makes your teeth itch. Ooh, we could hear it crackling in the rain. I bet that's weird. How weird is that? Oh, Christ. Bermuda shorts. My PP ain't disappeared. That's because it's not that cold. I blame anthrax for Bermuda shorts. So what's Dawn say? I nominate Kenny Biddle for that experiment since you mentioned rum. No, if Kenny's going, we're all going. So I mean, Christ, Beardo can down rum. Can you imagine Beardo and Kenny just like on a boat off the Bermuda Islands, just seeing if they disappear with bottles of rum? Let's have a look. What's that? Maiko saying the composition of the meteor was iron, silica, and helium. I remember correctly. How the hell do you remember that, Mike? Bloody hell, that's impressive. Giant. See, I would love it to be giant squid. You know, these huge ships being taken down by a giant squid. Yeah, I love that. I love that theory. Let's have a look. What's Lee 923? So I'm not sure if you mentioned earlier, but I'm curious if a similar area with similar thoroughfare would have the same numbers. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the busiest areas, obviously, in the world because of where it is. And I suppose comparatively, there's no, if you're comparatively, there'd be no great difference between there or anywhere else, based on the number of ships in that particular place. But it is interesting. It is really, really interesting. Hey, Ruby, good evening. I'm running errands between driving and shopping, but listening. Thank you so much for listening in. Let's have a look. What's Roger say? Roger's saying they did a full LiDAR scan of the area and it pinpointed the wrecks. Currents carried them way further than people thought, so the search teams all looked in the wrong place. Yeah. It's no surprising, really, the kind of oceans and the currents and everything else that's around that way. It is fascinating. It would be like a crap Pirates of the Caribbean. Spot on. Can you imagine? I don't just Beardo and Kenny literally just drunk on a boat. Turns out I can't drink rum quite so well. Oh, really? Had 3 Tuesday and Wednesday sucked. Let's have a look. Oh, Mike. Oh, that's quite cool, Mike. That's why you remember. That's how you know you study geomorphology. Get you, Mike. There you learn something new every day. Justin wants to chow down on a giant squid. No, I really don't. Really don't. Yeah, this one might absolutely. I've tried to imagine when those Flight 19 guys were running out of fuel. So much fear. Can you imagine? Absolutely horrific situation. Yeah, where they've obviously miscalculated. They thought they're convinced. Certainly, I think that people blame the person in charge of it, but they were convinced they were at a particular point when they weren't. And essentially, yeah, they're right. They completely miscalculated, running out of fuel. Can you imagine though? They know they're running out of fuel over the ocean, and there is, like I say, no land in sight, so that they know they're screwed basically. And this being in the 1940s, it's not going to look good, is it? That's what Kaz said. Isn't there a commercial thoroughfare through Bermuda for ships? Because maybe it's because men don't ask for directions when driving. I'm saying nothing. We don't need to ask for directions. We've got sat navs now. It's fine. Let's have a look. Ham's Navy rum is good. If giant squids are real, can we get Justin to put a slice on a cake for 10 quid? Bloody hell. Can you imagine how big the cake would need to be? Oh, dear. Yeah, not for 10 quid. Jesus Christ. What's that, Diane say? Get Beardo get to Tenerife. They have giant squid in their marine museum. Do they really? Nah. The tentacles bit. Yeah. I mean, it is what I'm going to just, whilst there's a little pause in things, I'll just tell you about one other incident that I was reading about earlier. There's the one, let's have a look. Okay, so there's another ship called the Witchcraft. It says in here, the Witchcraft was a 23-foot luxury cruiser that disappeared on the evening of the 22nd of December, 1967. The boat's owner had invited his close friend out onto the ocean to look at the Christmas lights over the waters of Miami. The plan was to go out a short distance out to sea, switch the engine off, and enjoy the scenery. At 9 p.m. that night, Miami Coast Guards received a distress call that calmly informed them the boat had hit something in the water and would require a tow from less than a mile offshore. The owner indicated that this wasn't an emergency and that they would fire a flare to let the Coast Guards know of the boat's exact location. Less than 20 minutes later, the Coast Guards reached the point where they believed the call had been made, but there was no sign of the witchcraft or the flares. Neither the witchcraft nor her two passengers were seen again. And so that's the one. And then there's another one. Says the Ellen Austin. In 1881, the Ellen Austin set off from Liverpool, destined for New York, carrying passengers emigrating to America. The ship had been at sea for several weeks when the captain took an unplanned shortcut through the Sargasso Sea. Known for its stormy nature, this route led the Ellen Austin through the Bermuda Triangle. Shortly into the detour, the captain sighted another vessel sailing erratically in the distance. The ship appeared abandoned and was moving unpredictably. Convinced it was some form of trap, Captain Griffin of the Ellen Austin kept a safe distance for 2 days before ordering a crew to go aboard and investigate why the ship wasn't responding to their hails. The unnamed schooner was found to be abandoned with an intact cargo. There was no sign of violence and no indication there had been a reasonable excuse to abandon the ship. Captain Griffin ordered that a small selection of his crew captain the ship and that they sailed together to New York where it could be salvaged. Shortly after resuming their journey, a heavy storm separated the two ships. When the storm passed and Captain Griffin once again sighted the mysterious ship, he pulled up alongside and found that, once again, it was abandoned and with no sign of bloodshed or reasonable damage. Whether too scared to lose yet more crew or pressed for time and resources, Captain Griffin opted to leave the ship adrift and continue to New York. The ship and its makeshift crew were never sighted again. See, that's cool. I love a ghost ship story. Who's that that's popped in? Let's have a look. So I've just missed people. So apologies if I've missed people. Oh, hello, Poppy Cow. That's hey, how are we doing? Thanks for joining me. Let's have a look. Wayne Dawson, it's a Bermuda Triangle is a vast area. I'm sure it's just a coincidence of things disappearing. Yeah, it is. I mean, we're talking 500,000 to 1.5 million square miles to give you an idea. What's that? What year did a ship or plane last disappear in the Bermuda Triangle? Good question, Kaza. I think if you, I mean, I would go to Wikipedia if I had time, but if you think, I mean, you'd like to think that you think all of these were like from way back, but I think I did see, I think the last one, I think this is all the time still, but I think the last one was around 2020. I could be wrong on that one, but so yeah, until recently, you'd think with modern technology and things like that, it wouldn't happen anymore. Oh, there we go. Diane's on it. She's been Googling. An MU-2B aircraft in May 2017 was the last thing to disappear in the Triangle. There you go. She's on it. Yeah, so Ginger's right. Like ghost ships fascinate me. Apparently, we have a ghost ship on our coast here, but how would that even work? What's the theory behind ghost ships? I mean, I suppose the thing is, like, I mean, yeah, like Elaine's saying, rogue waves and things like this. I mean, I was brought up on stories like the Mary Celeste and all of that kind of thing, which is really evocative. There could be all manner of reasons why people may have abandoned ship, but it is really, really fascinating. I love ghost ship stories, really do. So I suppose that one, the one from the 1880s, is kind of like a pretty cool ghost ship story. Justin is so cool. No, you're so cool, Dealey boy. What's that? The ships met unhappy deaths and could not move to the light. Yeah, possibly. Oh, blimey, the chat's moving fast. Hang on a minute. I'm missing things now. Apologies. What's that? What's Roger saying? If they had physical form, you'd think they'd crash or wash up eventually. Yeah, I mean, I get this. Obviously, there's still ships, from Boxing Day tsunami and things like that. And when they're kind of big catastrophic events like tsunamis, there will be things washed away where they'll just be drifting around the world unmanned for a while. But it's, so I do get that there are completely logical reasons for some of these things to happen. So look, with the witchcraft, the captain was a millionaire taking a weird path. A few red flags there for me, but who knows? Yeah, it's a strange, it's a strange one. Like I said, there are over 50, which sounds like a lot, but we're talking about 50 odd disappearances over 100 or so years. So if you see it like that, it's probably not that bad, really. What's Beardo saying? You know what's better than a ghost ship? A pirate ghost ship. And there's not one far from me. Always mean to camp on the cliff and look. I know I see nothing but love. That's cool. That's the Goonies. Have you been watching the Goonies? Is there genuinely a pirate ghost ship story near you, Beardo? Because if so, that's really cool. That's proper Goonies territory. Goonies never say die, man. Let's have a look. Some ships will run aground then during a storm, begin adrift once again, become a ghost ship. Yeah, exactly. Kazzy, this reminds me of the ghost. I love the ghost ship film. If you've never seen the ghost ship film, right? I remember I didn't watch it for ages, absolutely ages, and then I saw it, and I think mainly because I saw a clip of it. The beginning of the ghost ship is just awesome. The beginning of the ghost ship film, for anybody who's not seen it, it's the most ridiculous, funny, gory, stupid start to a film, but it's amazing. And the whole ghost ship film is so kind of tongue-in-cheek. Oh, for God's sake, hang on. I need more water. Tongue-in-cheek, just campy horror madness. But it's good fun. It's really good fun. So yeah, if you've not seen Ghost Ship, check it out. It's funny. Let's have a look. Monday night, I had a punami. I didn't actually. My stomach was just doing somersaults all night. Let's have a look. Florio saying commentary kind of question. I actually find the triangle interesting. Biggest thing, time is not linear. Physics has proven it folds and wormholes can form. So it makes you wonder. There you go. Florio's going for the wormhole theory. There it is. Going for that theory. That's what she's thinking is what's going on. So hell yeah. So we got 1 for wormholes. Awesome. I'm still kind of willing to believe that it's not. I think it's much more like human error and storms and extreme weather. Personally, yeah, but yeah. Let's have a look. What's Elaine say? A lot of ghost ship stories have been put down to mirages at sea. Don't you just hate science sometimes? God damn it! No, but I'm still going to say the Mary Celeste is a great ghost ship story. Yeah, ghost ship. The beginning of Ghost Ship is crazy. I saw today how a fishing trawler had an exorcism in Bridlington. Wow, they're from Bridlington. Poppy's saying 1 for the watch list. Thank you, Poppy. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on a minute. Files for wormholes to be able to form an insane amount of energy is needed. There you go. Hello, Heart Investigations. Good evening. I'll message you a link to the book that contains the story by Graham Lovelock Edwards on the coast of Severn. Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah, because that's. I mean, I love that kind of thing. If there's actually a pirate ghost ship, that's awesome. You definitely need to hang out there. Just even. I mean, it'd be good for just go down to the beach and have a barbecue or something on the beach whilst looking for a pirate ghost ship. Straight away, be kind of cool. So Florio saying definitely. I also believe there's magnetic issues and magnet issues there that messes with equipment too. Absolutely, that's one of the main things that's been reported again and again and again. Undersea meteorite with what's a? I mean, this one's got above my head. Dealy boy, undersea meteorite with graviton waves. What's a graviton wave? Please educate me. I've got no idea what that is. Sea demons, says Gingy. There were people that were called the wreckers near where I live, and they would light lanterns to lure ships onto the rocks. Bastards. Bastard. There's the Welsh for you. Get something for nothing. Bloody hell. They would loot the wrecked ship and murder the crew. Nice guys. How lovely. And they're buggers. So I think the combination of social media and better technology has proven it's no worse than anywhere else. Absolutely, Jan. Absolutely. I mean, I mean, the word the same, but I mean, the whole Bermuda Triangle thing has still has such mystery to it. Use your words, just thanks, Kaza. Yeah, absolutely, Furia. It's planes as well as boats. I mean, like some things, I mean. Is there room? I mean, I suppose with this one, is there room for paranormal theories around the Bermuda Triangle, or can it all just be explained by what the US Coast Guard said is they just think it's two things: environmental factors and human error. Is there room for other explanations that's going on? That's what I'm asking. What do you think, or are we just trying to trying to find things that aren't there? We're trying to kind of just give wild theories for stuff that is just implausible. What's Tim say? Stories emerged of the wrecked ships being seen just off the shore to haunt the wreckers, apparently. Oh, that's cool. I love all these kind of old stories. And that's not why I wear that jumper, by the way. They look. Yes. There we go. I knew we'd have a comment about the bloody jumper. Thanks, Lou. Everyone, don't you think it's odd that Justin knows so much about ships? Ate a lot of fish the other day. Hideous Captain Birdseye jumper. What can I say? Maybe. Oh, Giuseppe, what's that? I've never heard this one. There's a tale. We're going into ghost ship territory here. This is cool. There's a tale of a ghost ship in Hartlepool, supposed to be the ship the monkey washed on shore from. Really? They thought it was a spy and hung it. That's why Hartlepool natives are known as monkey hangers. I've never heard that before. I mean, I never knew that was a thing, and I would guess it was that sounds too weird to it not to be true. That's one of those things. That's cool. Hang on. Let's have a look. Considering we barely know our oceans, I think some more discovery is still going to come. Yeah, absolutely. Lee, I'm on the right same track as you. Graviton's that what you take to stop heartburn? Yeah, that's about right. Bless you. Oh, Kaza, thank you so much for the adding to the mod kitty. Thank you so much. 20 Australian dollars. There we go. Thank you so much, Kaza. Bless your heart. Thank you. What's this? Beardo, I think that's the same thing. The cove near to the foghorn has a plaque, I think. Oh, cool. What's that? Dark Veil? The books I have by Graham Loveluck. I've got to say that name so carefully. Loveluck. Have a ton of stories from your way. I keep meaning to do some camping videos where the stories are based, just to tell the story and stay in the area. That'd be. But you imagine how cool that'd be. You should definitely do that, Beardo. Genuinely, I think to be in that kind of area with that kind of story, it's great visuals straight away from where you are. To tell that story, that's so cool. There you go. And you're saying there's always room for more paranormal. Absolutely. Mystics disagreeing. There isn't anything supernatural about it. Yes. Well, but the thing is, it's great to kind of debate this weird and wonderful stuff. I love it. I love it. It's going graviton wave. Oh, here we go, Dealy boy. Here we go. Let's all learn. Let's strap in, everybody. Graviton wave. In theories of quantum gravity, the graviton is the hypothetical elementary particle that mediates the force of gravitational interaction. There you go, everybody. So that made it brilliantly clear for everybody. because I still don't know what that means. Okay. Yeah, it's good to do gravity. Yeah. There we go. Gravity. Gravity all over. And it's hypothetical, so it's not been proven. There you go. Sorry, Dealey boy. I mean, I was never really that good at science as a kid. Let's have a look. Urban Angel, they go missing, but where are all the bodies of the people? I suppose if the ship goes down with the ship, then obviously the bodies just get eaten away over time. Could also be something in the earth at the bottom of the ocean. That's why meteorite theory is out there too. Who knows? We don't spend enough exploring the oceans. I absolutely, yeah, spot on. Like I said, was it the whole thing about we know more about the surface of the moon than we do our own oceans? It was a French ship and the monkey washed dress. Oh, I have heard about this. Yes, I have heard about this. I did hear about this because yeah, it was like am I right in thinking it was like was it during the Napoleonic times and yeah, and they were kind of dead suspicious? Or am I getting the wrong era in history? But I have heard about this. French ship and the monkey washed dressed in a French military uniform for some reason. Makes sense. 100% serious. Don't know how true it is, but yeah, monkey hangers. There you go. A monkey hanger from Hartlepool. That story is definitely true. It's in 1803, so it is Napoleonic then. So yeah, I thought, like somewhere in the back of your mind, I remember the whole story about a monkey being dressed in a uniform, but I didn't know it was about Hartlepool. That's cool. We're known as the monkey hangers, but I've lived in Hartlepool for over 40 years. I never heard of us having a ghost ship. That's cool. A cousin of mine was on a plane that disappeared in the Alaskan Triangle. I didn't know there was an Alaskan Triangle. This is great stuff, though. Okay, so it's because the monkey was a mascot, which is why it had the uniform. I think it's an urban myth, though. Oh, don't spoil it, Lee. Don't spoil it. So Giuseppe's saying the same thing. Thought it was an urban legend. The Tale of Cap Koch or Red Cap is one of my favorites. Don't Scare Claire covered it, and there appears to be some truth to a mass murdering hotel owner. I'm camping there this summer. Well, doesn't that sound just the perfect summer trip? Go somewhere where there's a mass murdering hotel owner. Nothing says summer quite like that. There we go. I'm an expert in pseudoscience. The theoretical physics theory is interesting. Absolutely. I just wish I was cleverer with physics. I've got to say, I'm just not. Gravity only exists if you believe in it. There we go. Yeah, Kaza, absolutely saying it isn't only about 10% of our oceans being explored. Something along those lines, isn't it? I mean, it's not very much. Gravity has to exist. It's been yanking on my spine for 32 years now. Yeah. He's right. There's no historical evidence it happened, but it's so outlandish it has to be true. Yeah, I agree. It is one of those things which is so mad. I reckon it would be absolutely spot on. So what's Dawn say? I wonder how many paranormal fakers we can get to check out the Bermuda Triangle and see if they return. It's for science. Do you know what? Genuinely, that's a fantastic idea. Oh, Spaghetti alla Paranormale. Thank you so much for the super chat. 10 PLN, whatever PLN is. I mean, tell me. I mean, Polish? Gonna guess. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for the token of appreciation. Bless you, Spaghetti. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's have a look. We even have. Oh, that's cool. You even have a monkey statue in Hartlepool at the marina. Of course you do. I mean, somebody a long time ago thought a monkey was a spy, and now you've got statues of a monkey in Hartlepool. That's actually really funny. People are mental, aren't they? People are mad about what happens. Often encountered in Star Trek. Beardo gets to back me up. Graviton pulses. Oh, that's how Dealey Boy knows about it. So, Urban Angel, I live near the Falkirk Triangle, never squares or triangles where things disappear. Perhaps where we're where missing socks go. Well, I always everybody has like the odd socks. I've got odd socks bloody everywhere. Yeah, there's always two sides to every story, but this one has three. Very good. Bless you. Time slips. I mean, that's the thing. I suppose the thing with this, the whole reason why I wanted to do this chat with you guys about the Bermuda Triangle is nobody talks about it anymore because it's such an outlandish, mad thing, and people just think there's no mystery to it anymore, and it's all just explained, and that's that. But also, for me, it kind of harks back to the old documentaries, the old TV shows of the 80s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where the Bermuda Triangle still had some mystery to it. And I miss that because you don't really see much of that anymore. And I kind of miss that kind of stuff. For me, it was Arthur C. Clarke and and I know in America, there's obviously Unsolved Mysteries and all of that kind of stuff, and Strange But True, and all of the old kind of TV shows which had these stories linked to them, and I bloody love them. And it's a shame that we don't talk about them anymore. We just constantly talk about bloody fakers and bloody debunkers. We don't talk about the mysteries anymore. Anyway, does this monkey look anything like Justin? Bugger off, Wayne. The monkey was the mayor as well. The football club mascot ran for mayor and won. He took office as himself. What the hell are you eating in Hartlepool? That's just bloody hell. That's a bloody interesting topic. Thank you very much, Spaghetti, for saying so. Oh Christ, was gonna make a rude odd sock comment about Justin, but his kid may still be here. Yes. I mean, Pop is not exactly young anymore, but yeah, say nothing bad about her dad. What's Jan saying? I just tune in for watching the monkey get to change Justin's underwear. Yes. 2 minutes and it might still make me jump because we are going to be finishing fairly soon. Actually, just before I do finish, and I will go back to a couple of people's comments in a second, but just before we do, just to make you aware, on Monday, next Monday, I've got Samantha Treasure, who's going to be coming on to the podcast to talk about out-of-body experiences. So she has just released this book. Yes, it's another book. And it's just a fascinating topic. And I've not had anybody come on to talk about out-of-body experiences. And I think it's about time we did. We talked... Oh, you bugger. Hang on. Let me turn this bloody thing off. Stop it. Right, turn your alarm off. Right, shut up. Thing is, when that thing goes off, it's fine, and I'm kind of getting used to it going off after the hour, but I forget to turn the alarm thing off. So I'd be in bed, settling into bed, nice and comfy, and that thing will go off at like 9 o'clock or something. Anyway, so Samantha Treasure is going to be talking about out-of-body experiences because it's a bit of a kind of crazy subject and a great paranormal subject. So I'm going to be talking to her on Monday. Bless her. Last time she couldn't do it because the time difference is so extreme. Even though she's, I don't think she's British. I think is she Canadian? I think she might be. Anyway, but I think she lives in Korea. So there's like a massive time difference. So bless her. She has to wake up at 4 a.m. to talk to me live on the live stream. But she says she will get up at 4 so she can join me for this on Monday. So anyway, that's a Monday. There we go. Okay, so I'll do the last couple of comments from people, and we'll kind of leave it there. I think the debunker discusses mystery, like what? See, you just ruin it, Beard. Also, this debunker discusses mysteries, like what decade did Justin travel to for that jumper? About the 1920s. What scares most these days is more and more bloody sinkholes. They seem to be everywhere, even sitting in this armchair I'm holding onto the nearby shelving. They do seem to be appearing a lot. There seem to be a lot of things kind of collapsing, roadways and driveways and stuff. It is weird. Oh, thank you very much, Weird Fox, for kind of reminding people. Yes, it is The the monkey merch is still 15% off. Yeah, so if you go to my merch store and I think it's type in episode 100, it's on. There's a little offer thing that comes up anyway. If you type in episode 100, then you get 15% off, which is kind of nice if anybody wants to do that. Beardo burning Justin. Yeah, I know exactly. Hey, look, Beardo. Right, hang on. Yeah, Beardo. Right, listen. Bed by 9 weekdays. Doing teaching, I am knackered. We can't all just be on the PlayStation all day or playing Call of Duty, playing Warzone all day. Some of us have to work for a living. No, genuinely, the older I get, the more knackered I am in the evening, I've got to say. And yeah, by about 9 o'clock, I am done. I'm done in. So yeah, so teaching just knackers me out, I've got to say. And so by 9 o'clock, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for bed. And the older I get, the more I like my bed. Also, the Triangle was still talked about in the early 2000s. Then the Ghost Hunter show started, and all focus went to haunted houses. So it's Jason Hawes' fault. Where do you buy your jumpers, Justin? Thanks, Ghost Rena. I shall have to bring out some jumpers for people, or we'll have to wear different jumpers. I haven't got much to say about spooky shapes, but out of body experiences, I'm rubbing my hands together for that. Yeah, it should be good. It should be, because I do like those kinds of out of the ordinary kind of topics, conversations. I'm still trying to find. I tried to get hold of a few people to talk about Bigfoot. They haven't got back to me. Somebody's talking about, is it Jeffrey Meldrum? Tried to get in contact with him. Haven't got back to me. I've literally I've messaged about 30 people and I've barely got any comments back. So yeah, next week I've got half term off. I'm going to be going for more people trying to come to the podcast. So that's all done there. Apologies, Beardo. But anyway, he buys his jumpers from 1932. All right. I know they're crap. Yeah, near-death experiences would be quite cool. There is a guy that I wanted to get hold of, and I need to get hold of him again, but I don't think I'll be able to talk to him live. He is a world-renowned, and I do mean world-renowned, neuroscientist who lives in, I think it's Belgium, and he's somebody who knows literally everything about the brain and what the brain does at the moment of death, and that is very much linked to near-death experiences and what people experience, and it's all, and so I still want to get him on because it would be absolutely fascinating to hear from him. Try Cliff Barrickman. He's a Bigfoot enthusiast. Thank you, Bubba. I shall try, because I've not come across that name before, actually. So hang on a minute. Let me just write that. Cliff, what was his name? Hang on, let's go back a second. Cliff Barrickman. Never heard of him. Hang on a minute. Let me write it down. Cool. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, I shall check him out. Thank you very much. Cool. Right, guys. I think that's about it for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the little topic conversation. It's something a bit different. And yeah, join me again on Monday, Out of Body Experiences with Samantha Treasure. It'll be just a genuinely kind of fascinating chat, I think. Be a really, really good one. Are you hinting you want a jumper? No, don't want any more jump. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. Oh, he does a lot with Jeff Meldrum. Oh, cool. Thank you, Bubba, for that. Yeah, I shall try and get hold of them, and hopefully I can talk about Bigfoot, because I really do want to talk about Bigfoot. That's cool. Justin, he's big here. He's big where? Right. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for the comments, the chat, and for being so respectful, and the donations. Thank you. Bless you so much, particularly you, Kaza. Thank you. And I shall see you on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your day, or enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever is left of it. And I shall see you on Monday. All right. Night, guys. Bye-bye.